Hello and welcome, and it's the PHNX Cardinals halftime show, your premier Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. The Deadbirds, Arizona Cardinals, down 10-0, getting shut out at the half. I'm Johnny Venerable, Brack, Damon, Dawg here live at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. This halftime show brought to you by our guy, Coach Stark Holmes. Check him out at CoachStarkHolmes.com. He's in attendance. He's got his barf bag ready, does Coach Stark Holmes. Kyler Murray in this offense, yet again, failing to come up with the big play. And you can blame it on Drew Petzing. You can blame it on the offensive line, the skill players. Collectively, the Cardinals offense, Bo, continues to fail this team as they look for their fifth loss in 6 tries.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When they put together a couple drives and they're moving the ball, you say, hey, this looks better, right? And then they continue to shoot themselves in the foot, and they continue to find more and more ways to fail on the offensive side of the football. I mean, this was a half where they had the opportunities. You saw them incorporate Marvin Harrison Jr. We saw Trey McBride eclipse the 1,000-yard receiving yardage on the season. But the team, they still can't find points in the end zone.
Yeah.
They still can't do it. A 4th-and-1 play on what I thought was one of the better-looking drives even of this year. And the team, they give it to James Conner, who hasn't been able to find anything. He ended the half on the sidelines dealing with that knee injury. My condolences to James Conner fantasy football owners out there. But just another rough half of offensive football for the Arizona Cardinals, and it's just going to come down to it, as you mentioned. It's like Petzing, Kyler, Marv.
It's all the above.
Somebody needs to make a play.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a season-long struggle for somebody to just make a play that's going to impact the game.
Here, it's even worse that, like, the defense is playing with some pride. And, I know that they gave up a touchdown and a field goal. The Cardinals' defense is what it is. It's flawed. But guess what, folks? It's on pace to give up 20 points. Yeah. We were talking before half. You should win most of those games. You're giving up 20 points. The offense is a joke. You cannot run this back. If you're Michael Bidwell and Monty Ossenford and you're watching this trash on the field, whether it's Kyler Murray, you want to move off of him, whether it's Drew Petzing, you got to get Jonathan Gannon in a room and say, brother, this is going to get you fired.
Right.
This is not good enough. You've got skill players, right? Marvin Harrison Jr. finally flipping unlocked. He has an underneath route, breaks a couple tackles. Trey McBride can't be
the
covered.
back shoulder catch, too, from Marv.
Unbelievable. Yeah. But I don't care who it is at this point. It is irrelevant to me. Kyler, Drew Petzing, both. You want to get rid of them both?
Yeah.
This is not sustainable. I'm sorry. This is an embarrassment. Stafford's got 8 completions. He's 8 for 20. He has been bad. They have invited you into this game to take it over, and you have wet the bed yet again. You've peed your pants on national TV. And, I know the Cardinals get the ball in the second half, but come on now. You had every opportunity. It was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. You were driving. No points. I mean, you punted every down, every possession that you had but one, and you had it down. It's an egregious play. I will rip Drew Petzing for this. It's 4th and 1. Kyler Murray's having a good drive. James Conner can barely move. You set him up at fullback on a fullback dive. He's got 3 carries for 4 yards to that point. He has 4 carries for 4 yards after. That's a fireable offense, in my opinion. Drew Petzing is awful on 4th down this year. Cardinals want to be aggressive. They can't. Trey McBride's trying to will this team by himself. Penalties, big plays. I mean, it's just collectively, Cardinals, you get an F on the year offensively, and it's on the national stage now. And you can't hide from it. And you got to sit in that locker room and look at a bunch of practice squad guys making no money for your defense and say, we're blowing it again. We can't even get in the end zone. We can't even get a field goal. It's a joke now.
The defense was playing their part at least early on. As you mentioned, they forced 4 consecutive punts from Matthew Stafford in this Rams offense. Can't get much going running the football. They really never established the run. Everybody's scared of Kyren Williams. They can't get too much going offensively as far as in the pass game. Matthew Stafford was 3 for 8 after
he was bad.
Pretty much 4 consecutive punts. And then what's he do? He finds Puka Nacua.
Well, the Cardinals keep gifting him more possessions.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But after them going tit for tat, punt for punt, he finds his number one guy, right?
Yeah.
And the Arizona Cardinals can't do the same for themselves. They just never – they actually get worse. They go backwards offensively. They continue to just shoot themselves in the foot with the penalties. Collectively, it continues to be an issue. If you want to point a finger at who's to blame for this, it's the entire offense continues to just misplay themselves out of potential scoring drives. It's just whether it's the play calling on fourth down, whether it's missing guys downfield, whether it's guys not being able to come up with plays or being undisciplined as far as the offensive line, it's all there. Everybody's played a role in the Cardinals being shut out at half and really not putting up a fight against the team that has so much to play for in the Rams. You could play spoiler, and you're like one bad offensive drive to start this second half away from this game being over.
Like, the Rams are going through the motions for most of that first half. You're letting them in this game, and I don't want to hear about the offensive line. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear about the tackle play. Kyler Murray had time in that first half. I mean, he's been sacked 3 times. I'm going to probably put 2 of those on K1. That sack before the half, if nobody's open, then it's a whole conceptual problem. The offensive line has been good enough. You're running the football effectively. Guys like Michael Carter, afterthoughts like your second-string tight end and your third-string running back are out there trying to will you and make some plays.
Yeah.
You're throwing underneath on third down. I mean, it's just I'm sorry. I've seen enough. And I don't want to hear about penalties. Listen, it's week 17 in the NFL. If you don't have your penalties cleaned up, that's your problem. Any defense that they're going to have after this game is an indictment on them and the structure they put together, whether it's penalties, whether it's injuries or big plays or lack thereof. They have botched this season. This is a perfect encapsulation of the 2024 Arizona Cardinals when your defense is out there scratching and clawing, trying to make plays, overachieving again. Your offense is teasing you just enough, but then they fall flat on their face. I mean, you can't throw touchdown passes. In a league where Bo Nix, on an early slate, is throwing 3 touchdown passes easily and guys are wide open, the Cardinals cannot buy a passing touchdown. I mean, nobody is bigger Kyler Murray supporters in this show.
Right.
This is not sustainable. If you're looking at next year in 2025 and you want to sell people on 30% raises for season tickets, all or nothing, big offseason, big signings and big draft class, you're not. This offense is what it is. It's a finished product. So you got to remove a key cog, right? You can't run this back. Play caller, quarterback, somebody's got to be the fall guy after this season.
Well, you've got a half of football. You've got an offensive series going into coming out of the locker room right now, down 10-0. You're going to get the ball here at a half. You have to have guys make a play. You can't go down there, and I think it's essential you get a touchdown, not a field goal, and you're able. Somebody makes a play, whether it's on third down. You can't throw under the sticks anymore to Greg Dortch and come up 4th and 1. You can't be short again. You have to be able. Somebody like Kyler Murray has to find guys downfield, whether it's Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride. Somebody has to make a play. It just has to happen and has to impact the game on the scoreboard. No longer, I think, are fans going to accept, the yardage was pretty similar between them and the Rams, and it just comes down to this team executing in the red zone. Well, it's week 17 now.
I see people in the chat, defending Kyler Murray and being upset that we're being critical. Guys, they haven't scored any points. I don't want to hear about the offensive line. Joe Burrow was sacked 7 times today, and they're putting up 30-plus points a game. You can't get a touchdown? You can't get a field goal in the first half? Again, and I'm not putting it all on Kyler Murray, but he's the quarterback, guys. If we're not putting it on the quarterback and you're getting shut out, what are we doing here?
Well, the difference has been, taking those shots and executing the explosives. They just showed the graphic as they get closer to, the second half going on here. It's Matthew Stafford went 8 for 20, but he was pushing the ball downfield. He was trying to make plays where Kyler Murray, for whatever reason, refuses to try to make a play downfield. You've got there's no reason any longer. If you have a couple incompletions, if you put the ball in harm's way, you got to try to make a play here in the second half. You got to make a couple of them now as you're down 2 scores.
Damon, let's get those super chats, brother.
Yeah, let's do it. We are hitting super chats that we missed in the pregame show, so shout out you guys. Sorry again for not hitting those.
No
Josh
problem.
sent in 2, and he says, Zach Allen 4 sacks tonight makes me sick knowing the Cards could have paid him regarding the Broncos-Bengals game earlier, and then also sends
it's still
in
10-0 with Zach Allen in the lineup for the Cardinals tonight.
Sends in another super chat in $5 and says, can we get McBride over 1,000 yards and a touchdown or 2?
I mean, I think he's over 1,000 yards.
Yep.
Can he get a touchdown? Doesn't have any on the year. Nope. This team doesn't throw passing touchdowns. They got 16 on the year. They're on pace for 17.
Our next one comes from our guy Schaff here at the watch party.
Yeah,
$25, and he sends in a kind of a call out of sorts saying, I hope that all the diehards will be at the watch party. It's the last one of the season. There's strength in numbers. First round's on him.
Only positive right now is Kyler Murray drops back to pass and has a ball batted down. Big thanks to our guy, Coach Stark Homes. Check him out at Coach Stark Homes. If you're in the market for a home, give him a call. He helped me find our dream home. He could do the same for you. 623-695-3929. CoachStarkHomes.com. Damon Dawg.
Yeah, let's rip out these last 3 super chats we have as well from this show. Alex Shellard, 199, says, Xavier Thomas getting pressure, new OC, prayer hands emoji, love from LDN, London.
I mean, Drew Petzing, we were told likely safe, but, I mean, you get shut out. I think everything has to be under evaluation.
Tyler H., $2. K1 is not the problem this game. DP still sucks. And then you got Turtle Trolls, 199. Drew will lose us this game. Also, brutal interception drops.
Yeah. Cardinals looking at a critical 3rd and short coming up here.
It's just you have to make plays.
You're running the ball well.
You're running the ball. You're playing good defense. You're moving the ball relatively well. But when it comes down to it, as far as what's going to impact winning and losing this game, you have to make the plays. They're not making them right now. It has to change here in the second half. Or, you just say, hey, okay, we'll go on in the 2025 offseason.
We're going to be back here for your definitive Arizona Cardinal post-game show live from Gila River Resorts and Casinos at Wild Horse Pass.
Big play, Trey. Let's go.
As the Cardinals go for it here on 3rd and 2. Kyler Murray looking for 2 yards here. Nice catch by Trey McBride. Can the Cardinals find a way to score a point? Maybe make this game close.
Feed that man.
God forbid win this game. We're going to be back here regardless. Like this video. Subscribe to PHNX Sports. We'll see you after the game.
We all silly like the mayor.